good intro.
Someone needs their morning coffee.
All right. Welcome to the We Say podcast.
Where we say what's on our minds.
Yep.
Good God.
All right. So today we got some new stuff for you, some new content. Hope you like it. Also, we have a new concept in mind. We're not really sure what we're going to do with this. Brand new, never been done before. We're thinking calling it something like reviewing memes, maybe? Something like that, right?
Reviewing memes. Glorious.
All right, so...
That's so not done before, and so hasn't been done by anybody else before.
What? There's a dog?
There's a dog here now.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, we're not in a library anymore. We are in Wayne's house. So,
yeah, and
you want to show them what we're working with?
What we're working with here, this little guy, he's just all over the place right now, and of course, new person in the house. He's a mess.
He had his coffee already.
Yeah, 2-year-old Jack Russell, so Jack Russell's are a bit of a mess.
Show him the camera, I think you were
sort of blocking him? Well, here he is in all of his glory. Now he's not going to look at the screen because, okay.
Alright.
Thanks, guy.
Alright, well that's George Clooney.
That's George Clooney.
First guest on the podcast.
Guest on the podcast. Yeah, you know
Pretty big jump, George Clooney right off the bat.
Yeah, right? Wow. George Clooney's actually wasting his time on 2 scrubs with the camera. Who would have thought? Alright,
so, our other new thing that we're talking about is we're starting a little football segment, calling it Kicking It Off with Wayne.
Woo! Alright, so...
Wayne is going to give us his take on a few things.
Yeah. So, last week we had this segment, and it was really long and drawn out and pretty boring, so we decided to axe it and replace it with something different. So this week, we're going to talk about each division in the NFL individually and what exactly is going to happen. So, in the AFC North, we're going to start in the AFC North.
Keep it under 20 minutes, is the plan.
Keep it under 10, probably. AFC North. Everybody wants to talk about Cleveland, right? Cleveland this, Cleveland that. No, they don't have the proper coaching. They're not going to be as good as people think they are. They're still going to be good. They're going to be better than they ever were, but they're not going to be Super Bowl contenders. They're probably not even going to win the division. So that's a little farther down the road. Let's start with Cincinnati. Cincinnati just got a new head coach. He had lunch with, what's his name from not San Francisco, LA Rams, Sean McVay. Boy genius. Everybody thinks he's brilliant. Everybody wants to be him. Everybody loves Sean McVay. Let's just see if his people can coach. So, a new head coach. They finally got rid of Marvin Lewis. Andy Dalton. Who's ever been sold on Andy Dalton? And the Bungles. Not the Bengals, the Bungles. Exactly. They're going to win, I don't know. I'll say 4, but I'm really thinking 2 games. They might go 4-12 or 2-14. They're not going to be that good.
Fair.
And then they'll pick up Tua Tagovailoa next year. Whatever. And then after that, Baltimore. Baltimore's defense. Always legendary, right? Everybody remembers Baltimore for their defenses. Ray Lewis beating Tom Brady in Foxborough because screw Tom Brady, just like everybody else in the world. Here's the thing. Everybody's gone. Mosley, gone. Terrell Suggs, gone. Ray Lewis, gone. Ed Reed, gone. And the quarterback can't throw the football. You can look it up right now. Things have been said about Lamar Jackson. He went to a practice, the OTAs, and he didn't realize that they were totally changing the offensive plan. So now they have a brand new offensive plan that he doesn't even know anything about. I get it. We're a little less than 100 days away from the start of the league. But you can't win with that. They're an 8-8 team at best. I think they'll go either at best 9-7, worst 6-8, anywhere in between there. Then the Cleveland Browns, the aforementioned Cleveland Browns. They got Odell Beckham. They got Jarvis Landry. They have all these studs and all these guys, and the coaching sucks. The coaching sucks. So realistically, they have a Super Bowl roster being coached by a below average team. They're going to go anywhere from 8-8 to 9-7, or 6-10 to 9-7. Really doesn't matter. I don't see them winning the division. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh no AB. Oh no Le'Veon Bell. Who cares? Le'Veon Bell can go do whatever he wants in New York. Antonio Brown can go do whatever he wants in Oakland. Big Ben He's already taken all of his offensive studs, and he's taken them to his lake house, and they're practicing right now. Right now. By themselves.
Nice to have a lake house.
Well, I wish I had a lake house, but no, we're poor as hell, we're college kids. So
It's
yeah.
gonna plan soon though, don't worry.
Yeah, sure. Big Ben's gonna be fine. He's on a mission to prove Antonio Brown wrong, and he's going to win that division, and he's going to be just a monster this year. Watch. You heard it here right now. He is going to be in the best shape of his life going into this year's season. And it's going to be a report everywhere that Big Ben's in really good shape. Juju's in really good this. James Conner's in really good this. And so I think the Steelers are going to go something like 12-4, 11-5. So in the end, I think, well, here's the thing about Pittsburgh. They start off in New England, which that can be the tale of the whole season. If they can win in New England, they're going to have a great season. Pittsburgh's going to go something like 12-4. Cleveland and Baltimore are going to go 8-8-ish, and Cincinnati's going to be awful. That's all I got to say about the NFC North. See, quick and painless.
All right.
Want to get into some basketball? No, that's more of your.
That's more my forte for sure. All right, I got a hot take for you.
What's your hot take?
All right. In my opinion, Dirk was forced to retire. He was sort of, basically not. I won't want to say forced, but he was definitely pressured into it.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
With, Dwayne Wade retiring and stuff, end of an era. I think that was definitely a big part of them, wanting to put Dirk to rest in a way. I know that first game that the Heat played the Mavericks. They literally made it like it was
Dirk's
Wade, last
right?
game in Miami, and he didn't even say he was going to retire yet.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say anything about it, and they made it up to be like that. So and just from then on, it was all, most likely Dirk's last season, and he never said anything until after the season was over. So I think.
Well, I think that Dirk definitely told people that he was thinking about retiring.
I mean, it's pretty obvious because he's what? How old is he?
Dirk Nowitzki?
Okay, I'll look it up. You
No
keep
idea.
talking.
Well, the thing about Dirk is that he has been excellent for so long, and he wasn't really demanding so much money for so long. But now look at the people on that team.
Need your Wi-Fi password.
Jesus. Well, look at the people on this team. The people on this team are going to be absolutely ridiculous. Nikola Jokic? No, Jokic is Nuggets, right? Who's the other?
Jokic is Nuggets.
Who's the other European guy?
I know it's the Slovenian guy.
No, not Kristaps.
No,
The other
no,
one.
I know the rookie. We just talked about him on the podcast.
We did.
Oh.
Well, regardless, I can't remember his
I'll
name.
remember his
Jesus.
name in a second.
Dallas Mavs roster. Just so it's two European big men that they have there, and
He's more of a. Just
they're
saying.
Europeans. And I think that Dirk should join their coaching staff, which is what I think he's being pressured to do. Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic. There we go. Doncic and Porzingis. Like those are two guys. And on top of that, you can add another supermax contract to that.
True.
So imagine if we were talking about how the Knicks and whatever should do a couple weeks ago. Imagine if they get a Kyrie or a Kemba
Yeah.
or something like that.
That would make them that much better. For
They
sure.
would be ridiculous. But on the topic of Dirk, yeah, because he was occupying a roster spot. He was only playing 10 minutes a game.
And he was only averaging 6 points a game or something.
Yeah,
like
he was
that.
only playing 10 minutes a game, scoring 6 points, and he's old. He's old.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't have retired, but
He was forced to, probably.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the business. There really isn't much you can do about that. Dwayne Wade, I know he's been talking about retiring for a while, and he got lucky with being on. Being on.
Yeah,
a
he's
team
40.
that's-
Dirk's 40, so.
Yeah, but Dwayne Wade got lucky with being on a team that isn't actually that good. So. Like that. The Mavs had a legitimate chance of contending.
Okay. So, how about more about Luka?
Luka? What about Luka? He's a beast. If he can develop.
Okay, so obviously, both of them being European,
Yeah.
that automatically is just going to draw a connection.
Yeah.
And then, he comes in Dirk's last season, so he's basically filling Dirk's shoes.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to or not. Do you think he's going to be able to live up to that? And how do you think it's going to go for him?
My first answer is no, because Dirk is a power forward and he's a point guard. As of right now.
Well, he's not a point guard, right? He's a
point guard. We're in a weird place in the NBA where everything's kind of positionless. It's kind of, can you shoot a three or not if you get off the floor.
Handle the ball.
Yeah, hang on. You take over for a second because this boy is being a...
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I mean, I know obviously the fact that they play different position makes a difference, but from what I've seen his rookie season, unless he just completely falls off, generally there's only growth from here. So I see him being a very elite scorer and possibly even surpassing.
But do you see him being the best player in the world?
Possibly.
With the players in the NBA right now?
Yeah.
The young players in the NBA right now?
Yes. Okay, so who do you think is going to be better than him?
Well, there's the obvious Giannis. He's there for a while.
Sure.
Jokic.
But if Giannis doesn't develop a shot,
then he becomes the next, I don't know, Ben Simmons pretty much. That's another guy, Ben Simmons. What if he develops a jump shot? If he develops a jump shot, it's over. And if Giannis gets a jump shot, it's over. I think
that team pretty much destroyed any chance of that happening.
No, but if Giannis gets a jump shot, it's over. And as of right now, Harden is still averaging, 30-something points a game. It's stupid.
Yeah, but Harden is...
Of course, the thing with Harden is...
a little bit older.
He's not that old.
He's in his prime by now.
He's in his prime right now, yeah. I just can't see Doncic being the headline of the NBA. Even in 5 years.
Really?
He has potential, obviously. And I'm not trying to discount that. It's just...
Yeah.
That's a big step.
I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with hype, and he has been hyped up a lot this season.
He's not even an all-star.
What rookies made the all-star team?
A couple have. And even next year. Let's see what happens next year when he becomes an all-star.
Well, also, I know a lot of people, don't agree with this, but I think there's a lot more talent right now in the league than there was in past years when probably rookies have gotten in.
This is the year for everybody to just... Not the year. This is the era of the three-pointer.
So what is your dog doing? He's like, is he trying to do what I think he's trying to do?
No, he's not trying to eat your cake.
No, not that. He's like, look what he's doing to my leg. He's like got an itch on his foot or something, and he's scratching it on my foot.
I think that means he has to go out, which I'll do after this.
Okay,
whatever.
so yeah,
he's a strange.
We'll wrap it up.
This is a strange animal, I swear to God. Well, that's a perfect way to end.
Yeah. Okay. So when we come back,
when we're back after this dog does his business, what's next on the agenda?
Next for you guys, we have KSI versus Deji.
Oh, that whole situation,
And we're back. All right. KSI versus Deji.
Cool.
Give us the background on this one.
Here's a basic rundown, because I've been watching KSI since I was, I don't know how old, because I'm a huge FIFA fan, I'm a huge soccer fan, I'm a huge sports fan. So KSI is kind of blown up into this big thing. He's developed an ego, which naturally comes with extreme success like that when you're being super young. Well, okay. And he started recording with his brother when he was young and when the channels were first starting out. And Deji has always kind of been he had little brother syndrome. Just, he was always the punchline of jokes, always the butt of everything. They had a couple segments, Slavery FIFA, where he would literally whip his brother every time he scored on him and vice versa. And so Deji's kind of gotten sick and tired of that. But KSI has kind of taken that to a whole other level. And it's towards the parents now.
Okay.
So he's just developed an ego and it's going way huge. And I can understand why he feels that way. Because in a sense, he is YouTube in the UK. When you think YouTubers in the UK, it's KSI, then who's next? So the ego, I get it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
But it definitely happens.
It's definitely happening, of course. And Deji's kind of just having to figure out how to deal with it now. Because...
So he made a video, correct?
Of course, and that's what this is really about, is the video that Deji put out. He put out a 40-something minute long
Now,
video.
he has a channel too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So what's his content?
His content? It's been so weird lately. First it was FIFA and stuff like that, just like his brother. Then he started doing skits, and now he does like all these online things. This quiz tells you this, and look at these memes, and
Just like
look at
clickbaity stuff.
basically, which is, I mean, I get it. And there was a long period where he was actually losing subs because it was something that JJ said or KSI.
Okay.
And so they've just been feuding for a while, and a couple of months ago they had diss tracks at each other, and like they would record like these, not just somebody sitting there with the mic with some dumb, like high quality music video diss tracks talking about each other. It's something
Didn't like
nobody
the
ever
Paul
did.
brothers do that too?
Exactly what the Paul brothers did, which actually I'm pretty sure they did it just because they had a fight.
It was a cool thing to do.
No, because they had a literal boxing match.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
Yeah, they had a
I
literal
forgot
boxing
about
match, so I'm
that.
pretty sure that's why they did that. But anyway, that's I guess the bottom line question is Deji wrong for attacking his brother's public persona, even though he's doing all this crazy stuff? Or is JJ in the wrong for doing all this stupid stuff, even though it's making him money and more of an internet persona?
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think if there's like a serious problem between the two of them, it should have been solved, behind closed doors, not on the internet. But I think once you put it out on the internet like that, you're basically looking for sympathy. You're trying to get people behind you to sort of, rally and sort of not necessarily take his brother down, but I don't know. I think it's sort of an immature thing to do, personally. And if you really want to solve the issue, I don't think that's going to do it.
Well,
I think that's going to burn more bridges than it's going to.
The other point is that allegedly, I don't know, nobody knows who tried to solve this off the internet first.
Okay.
Nobody knows. All we know is that Deji attacked KSI first. So I don't know if Deji reached out to KSI first and it's like, hey, can we just not...
Well, this whole thing's giving me flashbacks to a couple weeks ago, if you know what I'm talking about, the whole James Charles thing.
Well, okay, but the whole... And that's what a lot of people are saying, is that, Deji only did this to get the views. Because he's hyping off the whole James Charles.
Because somebody else just recently did.
Exactly.
And that's another point I was going to make. I think, it's just sort of a trend at the moment to just hop on and automatically, just tear up somebody who's close to you, to get views or whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
get your brand out there more.
That's basically what it's been. It's been just Deji versus KSI. Hey, let's get more views, let's get more clicks, let's get more this. But if you look at the social blades, KSI has actually been losing subscribers.
Oh, really?
He's been losing subscribers off this whole thing. And, now he's threatening to sue his brother for, not defaming, what's it called? It's some law term when... Slander. He's trying to sue his brother for slander. But the whole thing is just screwed over.
Yeah.
Because the people that are really losing are the two parents. Deji still lives with the parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's by choice. Is that because he wants?
How can you be a big YouTuber like that?
He's a millionaire. He works with his dad, I'm pretty sure. A property company or whatever. And they like flip and turn properties.
Still, why wouldn't you just like move in?
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He wants to stay with his parents.
How old is
How old is Deji? I think he's got to be like 25, 26.
It's not that bad. Still,
He's got to be like 30.
Come on, man.
22. Never mind. He's like a baby. He's like us.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand that.
But he's got money.
Yeah, exactly. Versus, I mean, KSI is 25. So they're both young, and they're both doing things on the internet, which they could be making money off of it. Actually, you know what? They definitely are making money off of it.
Yeah, I'm sure their merch sales are going up and all that stuff.
No, their view counts are going up.
Too,
one KSI video on his main channel can go for like 2 million views, and that's a bad video. Like he can get 10 million views on a video if he really wanted to. So money isn't a problem for either of them. It's really just a social stature thing. So yeah, that's basically it. I guess let me know what you guys think, because this whole dispute between the two brothers is very eerily similar to what's going on with James Charles, what already happened to James Charles, but this has been going on and building up for a couple of years now, at least 5 or 6. Yeah.
Let's get some F's in the chat for that.
F's in the chat.
Well, did you really give your take on
what?
like?
Oh, what I think about it?
Yeah. Personally.
Well, I think that I personally think that Deji is more in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's straight up blasting his brother for everything.
Yeah.
At least when your brother is attacking you, he's not attacking your
person.
No, he does. It's not like it's a one-way route. It's just he's not affecting your money. He's not affecting how much money you're making.
If anything, it probably helps him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more that JJ talks about it, I get it. Like, if this is a personal note and you're not even worried about the money and all that, and you're just concerned because JJ is saying all this stupid crap about your parents and you, I get that, and I can sympathize with you. But you shouldn't be affecting the other man's money.
Yeah.
Because that's
so. Yeah. Like, if any other big like YouTubers out there, if you guys want to like come at us, get our name out there.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. You know, just come at us and be like, oh man, these we say guys, man, Eric and Wayne, at it again. Jeez. Feel free. All right.
God, you're insufferable. You're insufferable today.
Yeah.
Don't give this man coffee.
Coffee.
Don't give this man coffee.
I don't know what he put in this stuff. All right.
What's
so
next? What's next?
We're gonna take a little environmental issue here. All right. The beaches. They have to put sand on the beaches, every so often to replenish them here in Florida.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What's the
okay? Well, here's the real issue is that our beaches here in Florida. If you didn't know, we're in Florida. They're
I don't
not.
think we mentioned that, but
I don't think we did, but
that's where we are.
Woo. The beaches in Florida are not actually supposed to be as big as they are. The shorelines in Florida are maybe 30 feet. And the problem is they already built buildings on most of most of what would be the shoreline.
Yeah, exactly.
So every time you see all these trucks going back and forth with nothing but dirt or what you think is dirt or gravel, it's actually sand most of the time, and it's coming down to South Florida to make these beaches bigger. And
where are they getting the sand from?
All over.
Okay.
And they have to be really specific about it because you have to get a specific millimeter of sand. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll just deteriorate the entire thing and it'll all just come crashing into the ocean. The problem with that, I guess the cons are, the beaches are being destroyed because of that. We have to make more man-made structures. They're called dikes. You see all these rock formations that just go straight out into the oceans?
Well, yeah. Well, those, you're talking about the jetties or the groins?
Not the jetties. I think they're the groins.
Yeah, well, those are okay. So groins, they're basically these rock piles that go out perpendicular to the beach, and the purpose is to make, I believe, the right side of the groin have a bigger beach because the sand sort of collects there. Because the way the sand moves along the beach, it's called longshore drift.
I got dike wrong. I think it is groin.
Yeah, it's groin. No, I know for a fact it's groin.
Yeah.
But it's called longshore drift, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so the sand gets carried in sort of a, so the waves don't go straight in. They go in at an angle, and then they get pulled straight out, and then they go back in at an angle. And they're carrying little bits of sand while that happens. So basically the beach is always moving. It's always, it's not a fixed structure like a lot of people tend to think. So, the fact that we're trying to make it a fixed thing is, obviously not really possible. So we have to keep, putting sand in. And like I was saying about the groin, that's supposed to stop that. So the sand will build up there because obviously it can't go through the rocks. And on one side of it, you'll have a nice big sort of beach.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side, it's just drained and it goes all the way,
It comes out almost like a triangle. Like when the shoreline comes out almost like a triangle, where the part right by the rocks is
like an isosceles triangle. Bring it back to the middle school math days.
If anybody wants to do a podcast, this guy, you can take the seat and do it with this guy. But
jeez, man. Come on.
But yeah,
trying to paint a picture for these people. No, they probably don't know what the groin is.
But genuinely, it's an issue, and we keep making our shorelines bigger because of tourism and all that. And it's starting to seep into the one aquifer. Like, a lot of people don't know that. For all of the water in Florida, there is one giant aquifer that we get our drinking water from. And it's starting to get contaminated with salt water.
The Biscayne aquifer is what South Florida gets it from.
That's what I should have said. In South Florida, it's just one. And it's protected by a little layer of clay, but that's also starting to get deteriorated because of all of this constant wear and tear from all this sand being moved.
Not to even mention all the water that's being pulled out of there on a daily basis.
Exactly. So, we're
But yeah, that saltwater intrusion is not a good thing.
Something as little as bringing more sand and slamming it onto our oceans or our beaches causes so much more trouble than people really think about.
Yeah. Well, not even that. I mean, just think about the money it costs.
And exactly, the amount of money. But to be fair, you're probably making more than 5-10 times that in tourism.
Local businesses are, yeah.
Yeah, which taxes take out of.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just ruining the shoreline. We always have to buy more sand, and we have to make more and more of these groins just so that stuff doesn't break and fall apart.
And those are causing their own problems.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like anytime you fix a problem with this stuff, another problem arises. So you have issues with seawalls as well. Seawalls, they get eroded under them. Water gets in between the seawall and the land, and that gets eroded away, and then eventually you got to replace the seawall, which costs a lot of money. Especially when boats go flying down the intercoastal when they're not supposed to. Those waves impacting it really.
I've definitely done that. Well, on a smaller boat, so it's not that big of a deal.
So when it says no wake zone, try no wake would be a good idea, I think. But yeah, I mean, there's I said, with that, it's not natural is the point, and there's not really any way that we know of that really you can do anything about it. So the fact that we have all these unnatural, things. Like I said, a beach, it's a flexible environment. It's supposed to move and undulate and stuff. And when hurricanes come through, the sand will be moved down the beach 30 miles or so, and one beach will be bigger. That's just the way it's supposed to be. A shoreline isn't a fixed feature, just like a river. A river's not supposed to be a fixed feature either.
No, it's not.
Rivers move and bend and stuff. So.
Geology finally coming in handy.
Right? We had a geology class together, by the way.
Oh yeah, you were in that class.
Yeah.
I never remember because I always sat in the front.
I think you sat behind me.
No, I sat in the very, very front.
Oh, that was Christian. Sat behind me. Shout out to Christian. Supposed to be our tech guy, but he doesn't know anything about technology, so never mind.
Yeah, but it's a serious matter. We're joking and being whatever about it, but genuinely, if we don't do something about our beaches, we're gonna run out of water soon. And once we run out of water, then what? We're gonna have to start chiseling at icebergs to get water because that's where the majority.
Desalination.
Desalination's too expensive. Not
Well,
like literally expensive. I mean,
No, I know what you're saying, but I mean, if you don't have options, if you need water.
it's too costly in terms of stuff. But
But if the aquifer's drained, what are we gonna do?
then you have to find well water and stuff like that. You have to find underground water, or you have to drink dirty water. Well, I don't know, man.
I'll just drink some coffee.
I don't know, man.
We're back.
God,
All right.
you never believe this guy just brought up a George Bush TiVo commercial from like years ago.
Okay, that had to be like 2004, something like that. Pause. Y'all remember that one?
Oos! Anyways,
All right, we got some more content for you guys.
we're gonna get into the year-old question that everybody is always being asked ever as a, I don't want to say as a younger kid, but as a millennial or once you graduate high school. Should everyone go to college? Should everyone really pursue something like that? Or some kind of further education?
And that's the question.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I can go first.
go for it. Have fun.
I think it just depends really what you want to do. You need to obviously, be smart and be safe, and don't just jump into something on a whim and assume it's going to work. You need to at least have like a plan B, or if you don't want to have a plan B, make sure you work really hard at whatever it is you want to do. So if we wanted to just do this and say, school, whatever, we would have to
Better have it.
put all of our attention into this and make sure that we're, giving this 100% of our efforts and just, really, making the best product that we can. And we already are doing that, but we're still going to school.
Exactly.
Because, we're trying to play it a little safer, I guess. But honestly, I think for everybody it's different. school obviously isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people have, a little bit of a different personality, more of an entertainment personality, or more of just a hard-working, mentality. Whereas, going to school isn't really going to help them, or maybe going to like technical school would be better than going to college. I mean, it really does depend. But I would say don't get, talked into just going to college because you have to, or because that's just the way it is. I think that's just not a very good representation of, what we should be doing to, better ourselves and stuff, and make sure that we can be in the best position possible for, what we're good at and stuff. Because, there's other, what would it be,
What? Like a
post-secondary?
Yeah, like there are other options than just going into a 4-year college.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's art school and stuff. And there's, like I said before, technical school. You could just, if you wanted to start a business, although it probably would be better to, get like a business major and stuff, I would think.
You don't need a business degree.
Then again, well, exactly, you don't need one is what I'm saying. So if you have an idea and you know what you need to be doing, just go for it. But play it smart. Don't be stupid. Don't just go on a whim. Have everything planned out. What do you think?
Well, I'm in a lot of the same boat, except I really think that everyone should at the very least have a genuine plan. Great, now he's gonna go shit on that. I think that everybody should have a plan, and whether that be you're going to college, okay, cool. I'm going to technical school to be a mechanic or something like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to get certificates instead of a degree. Okay, cool. But you gotta have a plan post high school.
Yeah.
Because most of the time going straight into the workforce, although like that's not frowned upon or anything, like good for you, you got your high school diploma and you're working now.
Yeah.
But
or GED, whatever.
That's not gonna work nowadays.
Well, no, it could, depending on what you want to do.
It's not gonna work nowadays. Look at because just think of the financials, right? What's the average pay for a job? And we'll say in Florida because that's where we're from. The average pay, like how much do you get paid an hour? If that's too personal, then you have to answer it. Yeah.
It's a little less than I'd say most people.
Okay, yeah, it's same, and I teach kids how to band.
Yeah.
So like,
I make tips though, so it's a little bit.
yeah,
not
yours
the
is
same.
different.
Yeah,
I just realized as soon as I asked them, like,
yeah.
Let's say 11, 12. That's
Average.
a lot, right? That's a lot.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say probably like 9.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
that's probably
well. Let's even say 11, and that's on the high end, right?
Okay.
You get paid 11 an hour. You work 60-hour work weeks, right? Do the math. 11 times 60. What's 10 times 60? 600 plus another the one, so you're getting $660 a month, and that or a week, right? 60-hour work weeks?
Yes.
No, 40-hour work
40,
weeks.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
We're not trying to work you guys to death here.
$240 a month,
Yeah.
or a week, ish. I'm probably off still. I don't care. Even if you get paid $300 a week and your final total is $1,200 a month, you can't do anything with that.
Doing it again.
I'll take them out after we finish this podcast. But you can't do anything with that, and that's your average job. Your average, and
Well,
that's above average.
But that's more of like, well,
Because you have
that's not like a full-time job though. Like nobody really. I mean, even if you work, well, okay, you could be working full-time hours, but there's not very many people that get out of high school and are like, oh, I want to do this and make this much money. Like,
well, that's the problem. You have to think about that.
well, I know, but I think a lot of people when they come out of high school and they go directly into the workforce, they get higher paying jobs than that. These jobs that we're talking about, these $9, $11 an hour jobs, they're either part-time, or if they are working full-time, they're also doing school, at least part-time.
Okay, but what if they're not? Because I'm talking about those people. I'm not talking about the people that
then they don't
straight out of high school you get offered a $15 an hour
Then those
job.
are people that don't really have a plan, yeah.
Yeah, but who does go straight out of high school and gets $15 an hour or something like that? Something ridiculously much higher than everything else. Because retail isn't paying you more than 12. Food isn't paying you more than 12.
Yeah.
And that's with just a high school diploma. Let's say you get your bachelor's degree, right? Cool. You're still not going to get paid more than that. Or let's say that you're getting just He found the plastic bottle. Good job, Eric. You're fine. But
Come here, boy. Give me that. Come here.
he got the bottle. Well, back to what I was saying. Let's say that somebody is getting paid that kind of money outside of high school. They get out of high school and they're instantly offered a $14 an hour job or $15 an hour job. Cool. You're set. You probably don't even have to get a degree. But for the rest of us peons, you're only going to get paid like 9, 10, 11, and you can't live off of that. And I get that you're living with your parents for a while, but then what?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of people, like you said, they don't really have a plan. They're just sort of going with the flow, and that's not going to come.
Which is why I think everybody should at least try the college gig. You should at least try it.
Exactly, but I think something that is, just ingrained into people's minds is that you need to go to college. Especially a lot of older people.
Yeah.
They say, oh, this is the way you do it. You go to college, you get your degree, because they know that they didn't go to college, possibly, and, didn't necessarily work out for them. But there could have been some other things that went wrong along the way.
The difference is that they were able to pay for college by waiting tables.
Yeah.
College was dramatically cheaper back then than it is now. Like, by almost 1,000% or more than that. So, they can say go to college and do all that, but you have to think of all the financials. Because, okay, you don't go to college and then you're struggling. What happens when you do go to college and you end up having to take out a $100,000 loan to basically pay for it?
How many people are, in debt?
You're screwed. You're screwed. Some people,
there's like doctors and stuff that are paying it off until they retire.
Yeah, you're screwed. So, should you go to college? You should try it. Everybody should at least try it, because
at least try to get that 2-year degree.
Yeah, because even if you get a bachelor's degree, you could at least say that you're college educated.
Even an associate's degree.
That's what I meant. An associate's degree. If you get that whole time, I meant associate's, not bachelor's.
Okay.
Even if you get an associate's degree, you could say, yeah, well, I was college educated. So.
And honestly, I've done it. It's not that hard. If I can do it, you can do it.
No, genuinely, it's not that hard, and you don't have to go to a 4-year university for that. You can go to a community college and do it for dramatically cheaper.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure.
And if you work hard enough, it's not that hard to get a couple scholarships here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But just try school, because to live comfortably, I'm not going to say that you need to go to college, because obviously you don't. But if you want to live comfortably, you need to go to college.
Yeah.
Which really sucks to think about, but
not necessarily. It depends on what you want to do.
Well,
if you want to be in a certain industry, say something like this, college is a good plan B. But if this, works out for somebody, this type of deal, they don't need that. They don't need college.
Well, yeah, and that's
college would be useless for somebody.
That's very subjective, though, because how many people are going to get hot at something like this?
That's true. But at the same time, how many people really put the effort in?
That's also true.
I think a lot of people fail because they don't put enough time and effort into it. They don't learn the craft the right way. There's little things that need to be done that they don't necessarily do. They may not be as consistent. They may not, there's a lot of factors that can go into it that people don't necessarily think
that
about.
applies to school too. If you go into college with the mentality that this is just one of my options, I don't need to do this, and obviously you're going to fail. Yeah. Obviously you're going to do badly. And that's just the nature of the education world. It's not actually, yeah, how fitting, the nature of the business, because the education world is officially a business. It's not about bettering your education anymore. I don't know. I really think that everybody should go to school. Should try it. Should try it. Because let's say that you find something and it works out, or you just hammer out an associate's degree and you're like, okay, this is cool.
That'll get you a decent job at least. Like, if you have an associate's degree, I think you can at least get a job where you can live comfortably.
Not even really. Like, genuinely not really. Because what do you define as living comfortably? Living in a house?
I'm saying probably like $60,000 a year. Paying job, you can,
Dude,
that
you
that
can't
would
get
be
$60,000 a year with an associate's degree.
I think you can.
No way.
Okay, what would you be? What would you?
Because right now, I can tell you right now, my household makes around a master's.
What you say?
I can bleep it out. I don't care. My household's making X amount of money, and my dad has a master's degree.
Okay, but I think it also depends on the industry you go into.
He's going into public administration. It's a government job.
government jobs necessarily pay well.
Yes, and you get a stipend and everything. Okay. But you're still not getting that much money, you know. So in the end, it's
I
it's a catch-22.
I didn't mean any job with an associate's degree is going to pay $60,000. That's not what I meant. I meant more as you can get a job like that with an associate's degree.
No, you can't.
Okay.
What job pays $60,000? What job?
Something I was looking into for a while is Fish and Wildlife, Florida Fish and Wildlife. I think they start at 40 something, and you can make all the way up to like 70 something.
Okay.
And technically, you don't even need a degree for that at all.
Well, yeah, but that's...
You can start as a police officer for 1 year and then move into that. And
Yeah, but you see, you start as a police officer,
okay.
meaning you have to go through all that. It's not college per se, but you still have to go through.
That's another thing that I
whole
mentioned too. Police officer.
Yeah, police officer,
Firefighters.
EMTs, stuff like that. Well, EMTs actually you have to go to med school, but
Firefighters.
Yeah,
Go to firefighter school.
there are other options. But to get paid $60,000 a year, you need more. You need to get at the bare minimum a bachelor's degree, and even then,
I don't think so. I mean, I just gave you an example of a job that you don't need to have a bachelor's degree.
Okay, how many people go into that though? There's a reason.
Not enough.
There's a reason why that job is like that. Is because they don't have enough people in the field.
Yeah.
And here's another problem: when people do go to college, everybody's majoring in the same three things all the time:
What's that?
psychology,
Business.
business, and
Marketing.
some kind of art that they did in high school that they thought they were good at.
Wow.
Music, art, theater. You know.
Yeah. No, I
I'm a
agree.
victim of that. I went in as a music major, realized I'm not gonna make any money doing this, and moved on. So everybody majors in those three big things, and now you can see that the market for that is like slammed shut. If you have a psych degree, good luck finding a job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another thing too. Like, depending on what you want to do, college may not be for, what you want to do. Like, if you really want to pursue music,
No, you need to go to college. You definitely do.
depends on the type of music you want
Like
to do.
when I say college, when I say music, I'm talking about like classical,
Exactly.
like stuff like
That's
that.
what I'm not talking about that.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. If you want to do bands and stuff like that.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
Then you wouldn't need college. Or if you want to do what's something else like
What in the arts? Photography, videography, stuff like that.
you don't need a
Well,
degree for that.
here's what I could say about that is that no, you don't need the degree, but you need the college for the connections. That I have a couple of friends that have gone to like Full Sail and stuff like that they say, yeah, the school itself was kind of BS, but the connections I made have given me other options for where I can go and what I can do and who I can talk to do things. Like my cousin, he went to California for a while to pursue music performance in jazz, I think.
Okay.
And he went there. Of course, California is unbelievably expensive, so now he's back here, and the connections that he made out in California, there's never a day here that he doesn't have a job. He's producing.
Is that just because you went to California though?
It's because of the people that he knows,
Yeah.
and he's producing his own music and he's sending feedback back and forth and back and forth and back.
I mean,
and forth.
California is just a hot spot for entertainment. Period.
So is Miami. So is New York.
Not as much as California.
New York, maybe.
New York almost as much probably, but not as much as California. That's why KSI Neistat's moved to California because of that.
Well, yeah. Bottom line, to like, I guess summarize what I think about this whole thing. Try college. If it doesn't work, try something else. But have those like plan A, plan B, plan B, plan C.
Well, I think, like I said before, college, if you really want to do something else, college is a good backup. You try what you want to do first, not necessarily first, but at the same time. And, if that doesn't work, at least you'll have a degree to fall back on and you can, work into that.
Because you need, as bad as it sounds nowadays, in order to live in a comfortable environment, in a good house, with a paid off car, where you don't have to worry about the bills. Period. You need to have like at least $40,000 to $50,000 as your salary, and that's living in like an apartment with a awful little car. And just like getting by, because then there's all the other expenses. I don't know. I'm a really logistical person, so I think of the totality of money and bills and rent and stuff like that when I think of salaries.
I think you're just trying to depress everybody.
No, I mean, sure, but it's the facts. The facts are that you have to think about these things. It's not. you can just live with your parents forever.
No, I know what you're saying.
And you need to have a certain amount of money in order to do certain things, otherwise you're screwing yourself up.
And also, I think it depends on where you're living too, because the cost of living in South Florida is ridiculous compared to somewhere like
Carolinas?
Yeah, Carolinas, Idaho. I mean,
okay, but sorry Idaho, but who wants to live in Idaho?
Well, not a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
A good amount of people do.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to have, millions of people around them all at one time.
I get that.
I'm definitely one of those people that would rather live a little bit more secluded rather than down here where it takes 10 minutes to go 1 mile. I mean...
Have you lived in a city yet?
No.
Oh boy.
I am never... Okay, I don't want to say that. I will do everything in my power to not move to California or something, New York, whatever.
Oh boy, New York, man. You don't even want to know how awful it is to try to drive in New York.
I've seen videos, and it looks like pictures because nobody's moving.
No, driving in New York is honestly the worst thing possible. Just take the subway.
I hear LA is worse.
Driving in LA is probably worse, but in terms of population, like per mile, no contest. New York City is awful. It's
have you been to LA?
I've been to LA once.
Okay. I hear LA is a lot smaller than people.
Yeah, and also LA is also literally also, Jesus. LA is also much more trashy than everybody thinks too.
Trashy, yeah. Like just
dirty. Once you get off certain roads, it's just like straight ghetto, and it's not always what you see in the pictures.
Okay.
So yeah, we went from talking about college to how nasty LA and New York is. Did you see the size of those sewer rats, bro? I'm not even playing. Some of those rats are bigger than these mics.
In New York or?
In New York!
Really?
Yeah, we're sitting on the subway waiting for the train, right? And you see these monstrous rats.
It's like a possum.
Looks like a possum or a raccoon or something. You're staring at it like, that's not a thing. And you see it scamper under the station when the train comes by, and you're like, oh hell no!
You want to call animal control?
Oh hell no! And it only got worse after the subway flooded from that last hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never been to New York or LA or anything like that. So I can imagine. I'll probably end up going there sometime.
Oh my god.
Alright, well I think
just
we can wrap it up.
End it on sewer rats.
Yeah, leave it on these giant possum rats.
Oh my god, just Google it. I'm not playing.
I'm gonna Google it actually.
They're like 6-inch tails now. Just the New York sewer rats are ridiculous. And they come out at night too.
Jesus Christ, is that real? Is that real?
Yes, it's real. No, I'll post them. I'll do a little flash picture, a little sub picture.
Okay.
Like these rats are huge.
This is insane. This guy's holding it like a fish. It's like one of my snakeheads. Oh my.
Don't throw those back.
Goodness.
They're massive. They're actually massive.
They're probably bigger than the cats.
They eat the cats probably.
Bro, this one's eating a bird.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oh my god.
And I'm sure that there are rats just as bad in, all the major cities. Chicago, LA, probably
41
Miami.
pound rat caught in New York.
That's not real. I refuse to believe a 41-pound rat, but yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, I don't either.
All the major cities have all kinds of pests. And
so wait, why are they so big? Is it just the fact that they have so much food?
They're in the sewers. There's so much food they can keep populating, and it's nasty. It's gross. Yeah. It's actually disgusting.
Like New York is?
As a city, yes, it's dirty. It's extremely dirty and just very nasty in general.
Yeah, I would assume that's pretty hard to avoid, though.
What, being dirty? Well, yeah, when you're populated by like what? What's the population of New York now? Oh my god. We just
don't know why it's in any.
We just went into a deep dive of how many of all these sewer rats and everything. New York is currently at 8.6 million people living in there. New York City. So, yeah. I'm sorry. New York City. I'm done. wrap this up.
All right, yeah.
Sewer rats.
All right, thank you for watching the We Say podcast. We appreciate it. And leave some comments, leave a like.
Leave your favorite story of a New York sewer rat.
Yeah, if you got any personal encounters with them, let us know what happened.
These are dinosaurs, man.
Did the rat win? Did you win?
Did the rat win? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. If you ran up the stairs, the rat won.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, it's been nice conversation.
All right, guys.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.